Are you looking for more out of your life? Do you need ideas on how to start new businesses and how to move forward in your own personal life? Well, guess what? You have come to the right radio show. At You Can Overcome Anything podcast show, you will learn and hear from many people from all walks of life who are sharing their challenges, their stories, the habits, and the mind shifts they had to overcome to become who they are today. On top, you will get a chance to connect and see how you can overcome anything by networking and learning about your next move through this radio show. I present to you our great speakers at You Can Overcome Anything podcast show with your host, Cesar Espino. Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of You Can Overcome Anything podcast show. It is your host, Cesar Espino, and today I have a special guest. His name is David McGowan. Hey, David, how are you?
Fantastic. We're doing well today. How
Awesome.
are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate that. And before we dive in, let me just give the listeners and viewers a little bit of your background so they can kind of get to know you. So David is currently running and operating an inland real estate school focused in assisting individuals pursuing a new career in the real estate industry. He built a school on the basis that he wanted to be supportive and just provide the classroom presentation. The key to their success has been students' confidence that they've been able to get support for support both for education and business practices. In addition, he is managing a broker with the Inland Real Estate Group of companies and have been the managing broker of the commercial sales division since 2001. That's amazing. No, that's awesome. So tell me more about you. Like, tell me, where are you originally from? Tell me more about who's David.
Well, David started off life wanted to teach art in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I became a teacher at Maine West High School. Unfortunately, it was a period of time when financial constraints were in place, and they dropped from 7 art teachers down to 3. Being really one of the new ones, I was let go. No idea what I was going to do in life. Got a phone call from my father. He said, "Hey, listen, I'm going to real estate school." I said, "You got a good personality. You're going to be fine." "Oh, no, you misunderstand. You're going with me." That started my career in real estate. I never left. And I worked diligently, but one of the things that really set me back, I was scared to death. I've never sold anything. And I made sure that the managing broker who was recruiting me knew that.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Don't worry about it, Dave. Go on a listing, I'll be with you. Go on an appointment, I'll be with you. Have a contract presentation, I'll be with you. I'm going to be your mentor. I'm going to walk you through everything." I passed the state exam, walked in with the documentation, said, "Great. Here's your desk. Here's your phone. Good luck." And that was the last I saw the man. Now, it wasn't that he left the company. He just had no interest in mentoring me. That was all it come on. And that was the first mistake I made. I teach my students today, and I went on to own my own real estate company, 7 offices, become the top producer in a 1,000-person office. Inland actually recruited me in 2001. Saying, "Come over and manage our commercial sales division." But I became of a mindset that I was never going to let anything like this happen to another agent. So whether you became an agent in my office or you became a student in my school, I wanted you to know that there's somebody that's going to support you, mentor you, and that there are managing brokers out there that really take an interest in their sales agents to guide them. And that was what I did with my company. Every new agent that joined me, they had a mentor. If it wasn't me, it was somebody else in the office that I trusted. But I wanted them to feel like they had somebody interested enough to be there. I was mentoring a young lady, and she got in the business about 6 weeks ago. She scheduled an open house. No one in her office, including her managing broker, had a desire to be there to assist her. Show her how to meet people at the door, how to walk them through. She asked me if I could be there, and I was there for her. But this is the kind of mindset that I want to bring to the table. to help people understand that they can be successful in this business. But many times they need to have someone that is there behind them, supporting them, mentoring them, so that they can feel that inner confidence in being successful. So that's where I come from a concept where I was just taking what I consider taken advantage of. Because all I was looking for was numbers, to the point that today I want people to understand success is there, but sometimes you gotta have someone behind you to actually make that success a reality.
Yeah, no, and you said a couple of things, and I want to kind of take it back a little bit. When you jump into the real estate aspect, you said you were scared and you've never done any sales, you have never done any of that. Looking back now, and there's a lot of people that might be listening to this that might want to get into real estate or might want to get into some sort of business venture, whatever that might be. Yet the one thing that might be holding them back is, well, I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to deal with, sales, the sales aspect. I'm just afraid to step out of my comfort zone into the uncomfortable zone, and be able to do that. So if you look back now, what have been some of the lessons that you can, give now based on that? Because you were scared and, you have never sold anything. Now you're obviously doing that and you're good.
That's it. The first buyer that I ever worked with, and I was really proud that I found this buyer, I ended up showing them 72 homes and didn't work. But nobody ever showed me how to pre-qualify the buyer. So that became one issue. The next, when I got my first sales contract, and it took me 8 months to get to that stage to get a final offer on a house. I got that offer. I started the presentation with the seller, and I was lucky enough at the time to be able to do it face to face. We started at 7:30. I had no idea how to close, how to bring this to a conclusion. It was finally 2:30 in the morning when the seller turned to me and says, it's 2:30, I got to go to bed. Just give me a piece of paper. He signed it. There is so much that I wish someone would have shown me. And unfortunately for me, it became trial and error. And then when I started to develop the understanding, the skill sets, how to speak with people, understanding that you learn more about a person when they talk than when you talk. So you've got to understand, one, how to read body language. Two, how to ask what I call open-ended questions. Questions that do not necessarily respond to yes or no. See, I'd like to know who you are. I'd like to know who your family is. What are you really looking to achieve in your goals? Because that is what that's what gives me the edge in being able to understand what I need to do to help fulfill those objectives. You ask, what did I learn? I learned how to read people, how to use what the person really is all about to help what their goals are, what their needs are. Let's put them together. Let's find a solution. I've developed over the years, there are challenges in life, but there's always a solution. And if you are serious enough to find that solution, you will find it, and you'll meet whatever objectives the people that you're dealing with are trying to accomplish.
Yeah. One thing that you mentioned, and I like the idea, and I want to go back to the mentoring aspect of that. There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together, right?
Right.
And so going back to that concept and that the idea of mentorship, a lot of people put up their wall and say, well, I don't want to pay somebody to mentor me, or I don't want to be mentored by this person, so on and so forth. Obviously, that has been very critical. And that's one of the things that you do right now within your own school, is being that teacher, that mentor, that person that's teaching somebody how to be able to step outside of their unknown and step into the known eventually, right? And so looking back at that, what is your one advice when it comes down to mentorship and being able to say, you know what, yeah, maybe I should take this chance and find somebody that can teach me?
First of all, never be afraid to ask for help. And the help, or the question might be, is not so much, will you help me? who in the office is the best source to go to for information? That might be the question. Because there's a lot of people in an office, and they're all different skill set levels. And oftentimes, the ones that you are more friendly are not necessarily the ones that will be able to give you the greatest amount of insight on what you need to do to be successful. Even the ones that are most successful, they may not have the time to help you out. And again, they might look upon you and say, well, you're my future competition. Why should I give you insight on what to do? So don't be afraid to ask who in the office. One person to start with might be the secretary. She knows all the agents. Build a relationship with that person, and they'll tell you who that you want to talk to. But never, never, ever be afraid to ask for help. You made a comment. I'm going to change it slightly. 2 heads are better than 1. And we're in an industry right now. When I got started, everything was very personalized. You did your own work. You did it yourself. You don't have anyone around you. Today, we've evolved. Teams are today a common thing in an office because we've learned that you get far ahead, you get further ahead when you're dealing with a team environment, when there's a supportive environment. I'm a team leader I know. In fact, she does a little presentation in my classes. Mary's got 8 agents. And every morning at 9 a.m., all 8 agents are together. They're practicing scripts. They're talking about activities that are going on. And every agent on our team is earning in a 6-figure range. That's because they're relying on each other. Take a look at the National Association of Realtors. The national income for an agent that works alone is anywhere from 40 to 60,000. The average income for somebody who works on a team exceeds 100,000. That in itself tells me that working with someone else is critical to success, even if you elect to go off on your own later on.
Right.
But right now, get yourself started. Get yourself in a position where you are productive.
Yeah, and going back to to what you said, never be afraid to ask, whether it's in real estate or anything. That's actually a principle or an idea that we got to be able to just utilize more often. And sometimes we don't do that, right? We got to be able to, if I'm going through some challenges in my life, whether it's personal, family challenges, whatever that might be, like, just don't be afraid to ask. And sometimes we are so afraid because we feel like we're going to be judged or no one's going to listen to us. And if that's the case, you might be asking the wrong person. Go ask somebody else, because at the end of the day, that is, they might be able to bring something. It might be just a word or a phrase or something that they tell you that is going to turn on that light bulb and give you an idea of, how to shift and or look, right? And so I like that. Never be afraid to ask. You talked about the mindset, that you were in this mindset of, I'm going to succeed because I'm going to succeed. I want to talk about the mindset because I believe that the mindset is one of those things that it came to us as we were born. We were equipped with this mind that literally costs us no money, right? Except sometimes we do not know how to operate it. And the mindset can either make us or break us. It is a very powerful tool in either in the good aspect or in the kind of not so good aspect, right? And so talking about the mindset and besides just saying, I'm going to do it, because sometimes that's the action. You just got to say, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z and take that action. Besides that, what have you done to really work on your mental health?
That's a great one. Right now, I'm divorced. But when I was married, one of my biggest assets was my spouse. And whenever I was starting to feel a little bit stressed, I could sit with her and just talk things over. Now, we've grown in different directions, but that was one of the biggest assets, is always having somebody there, even if it's just an emotional support. That makes a big difference. And even now today, and we've lived through this pandemic, and it has really affected a lot of mindsets. because people have found themselves kind of cooped up. Even in our building where I maintain my school, there's 1,100 employees, but only 46 of us are allowed in the building. So I feel like I walk into a morgue. It's so quiet there. But that's unfortunately the way things have evolved. And this is where when I go into the office, I want people around. I want people to talk to. I want to build on your enthusiasm, because that is what is going to give me strength. And that's where my mindset went. When I got in this business, I was depressed. I literally was. I was no longer teaching. I could not find a teaching position. I just got married. And now I'm trying something brand new, completely out of my comfort zone. And only because my father said, you got to do something with yourself. So it was a challenge for me to get up every day. But then I just sat myself down and said, I got too many people relying on me. I can't let myself down. So I had to I listened to some audio tapes. I took some motivational courses. Not that they were actually that influential, but they gave me a reason to believe there is hope. And there's a way that we can all get involved and we can make things happen for ourselves. So you said, where's the mindset come from? It's got to start inside. You got to want to grow. You want to accomplish something. Look at every successful person. Every person out there who has any success whatsoever did so because they motivated themselves to get it done. There was nobody telling them what to do, how to do it. Nobody doing it for them. They did it because they felt it inside. And that's what I got to recommend to everybody. Stop. Take a look inside of you. Someone once said, you've got to love yourself like you love someone else. So you've got to understand, it's in us. Can we take control of it and pull it out? So we can, in fact, make a presence in life and a presence for ourselves.
Yeah, no, definitely. I like that. I like the idea of the accomplishment, and sometimes taking that a little bit further, we're looking for validation. We're looking for, I want to do this so that person can like me or that person can see me or whatever the case may be. And I think that it's really not that. It should be more of a self-accomplishment, whatever it is that you do, right? A lot of people, there's a lot of motivational speakers that talk about, what you do behind closed doors should be the same thing that you do, out in the public, right? Mm-hmm. You don't be that different person. So again, and the concept of that is because you're doing it for yourself, right? The one person you're competing with is the one in front of the mirror. The one person that you have to become better, at least 1% each day, is who you were in the past or yesterday, right? And so when you come to the idea of that self-accomplishment, I'm gonna become a real estate agent, I'm going to be a broker, I'm gonna be an investor, I'm gonna write a book, whatever that might be, do it for you, and everything else will come after. I think oftentimes we do it the other way around, right? We're looking for that other validation, and sometimes we're not even happy doing that stuff, right? We go to jobs that maybe they're paying us good money, except we hate it. We hate going to that job because, again, we're doing it for the wrong reasons, right?
Exactly. You can't be thinking, I'm doing this because this person here. Do it for yourself first.
Yeah.
That's where everything's got to start. And by doing it for yourself, not only do you become happy with yourself, you also actually become, in my opinion, a better friend, companion, husband or wife to the people around you, a better parent. Yeah. So again, like you said, it has to start with yourself.
Yeah, definitely. David, if people want to connect with you, where can they find you?
Inland Real Estate School. We are located just outside Chicago. Mm-hmm. I'll give you a couple of things. My personal email address is d.mcgowan@inlandreschool.com. The school's website is inlandreschool.com. As you said, I'm affiliated as a manager and broker with the Inland Real Estate Group of Companies. and it's a fairly large commercial operation. They're located at Oak Brook, so you can reach me through the Inland Group as well. So there's multiple ways you can reach out to me. Emails, I'm responding to emails every day, all day long.
Yep.
So oftentimes that's the quickest and most efficient way to reach out.
Got it. Got it. And do you only work with people in the Chicago area, or can other people in different states work with you?
We have affiliations with school in almost every state.
Mm-hmm.
So I can help place you in any real estate school. But it's not just Chicago. When I talk about mentoring, when I talk about giving guidance, assistance, I don't limit geographics to that.
Mm.
It's not worth it.
Right.
So it's a function. I was talking to a person in Michigan. They needed help because they were struggling on how to get their career off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what state you're in, there's always some basic concepts in developing your career that are true across the board. So I don't want anyone to feel hesitant about reaching out to me because I may physically be in Chicago.
Right.
I'm wherever I need to be in order to help that person achieve their goals.
Okay. And then in terms of the one thing that I you've been a very successful business owner, have your practice, you've done a lot of stuff. I think a lot of it comes down to discipline, comes down to habits. Tony Robbins refers them to rituals. Do you have any specific habits or rituals that you do on a day-to-day basis to help you get up every day and say, you know what, I'm going to attack the day and give it my 100%?
Yeah, as soon as I wake up in the morning, before I start anything specific, I sit down and I talk to myself. What is it I want to accomplish today? I want to make sure that when I come home at night and go to bed, I feel comfortable that I did what I wanted to set out to do. I keep a list for myself of things I need to accomplish. I've got it on my computer. I've got a separate written list. And I'm looking at that frequently throughout the day. Because as long as we can feel comfortable with the fact that we've had accomplishment, living your day and at the end of the day not having accomplished anything at all, it leaves a void in one's life.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could make an influence or make an impact in somebody's life as well as my own, then I know my day was very successful.
Right. Yeah, there's I think it was either Les Brown or Denzel Washington to talk about this analogy, and he said that imagine that you're at your deathbed, and surrounding you are the ghosts of all the dreams and ideas that could have come to life, except you're on your deathbed, and now they're living with you. You never gave them fruition. You never allowed them to come out. And sometimes, I like that. And you got to be able to feel as you've done something for today, so that when your time comes, there's no regrets. There's, everything you've done was exactly how you wanted to do it. And it's never too late, right? You can definitely start now. Whatever happened in the past happened in the past. It's a lesson. It's an educational experience. Except if you're listening to this and you're watching this, you can start from today on and make the best of whatever time you have left, right? And it's never late. It's never too late.
Never let yourself down. Always find a way for you to feel comfortable and for you to achieve your goals. Achieve your goals, you will then be helping others achieve their goals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. David, one of the things that I want to ask you is, or two other things. Number one, for the people that are listening to us or are watching us, if they're going through any challenge, whatever challenge that might be in their life, what is one thing you can say to them so they can start overcoming that challenge?
Believe in yourself. If you can believe in yourself, you can find a solution. And the other aspect is, don't be afraid to ask someone for some assistance.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the only person on this planet. You got others around you. There's people that care about you. Maybe your family, maybe your friends, acquaintances. But don't ever be afraid to be able to ask for help, as people really do have a kind heart
Right.
and are willing to help you out. Now, they may not be able to help you financially, but emotionally, that is, to me, more important than the monies.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's that one thing, right? There's certain things in our lives that we can definitely lose and get get back again: money, house, materialistic stuff, the love of somebody, the loss of somebody. Those are things that you might not be able to get back. And so, yeah, definitely, I like the idea of believing yourself. And sometimes the belief comes from within, and you got to be able to sit in your head first, and then be able to take that out into this space, which we call life. Yet you got to believe it first in your head. So no, I definitely love that. David, anything else you have before I let you go?
Other than, just as I said, believe in yourself. Set your goals, set your objectives in life. Go after them. That's what's critical. And don't let the negativity that some people have slow you down. Too often people see you successful and they don't see it in themselves, so they try everything they can to make you feel terrible about it.
Yeah.
Turn the tables. Try and help them to become successful themselves.
Yeah.
It makes a world of difference, not only in relationships, but in helping people and yourself grow.
Yeah, no, definitely. I love it. I love it. Well, David, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you being on the
Thank
podcast
you.
today. Yeah, and for the
Appreciate
rest of
it.
you guys, yeah, definitely. And for the rest of you guys, do me a favor. Please make sure that you uh, listen to this podcast, leave a comment, and make sure that you share it, because somebody needs to hear this message. I'll see you guys at the next episode of You Can Overcome Anything podcast show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Cesar Espino, real estate investor, business coach, and consultant, and author of the book, You Can Overcome Anything, Even When the World Says No. My number is 424-501-6046. In my book, I talk about making the necessary changes to shift your mind for prosperity and certainty. Pick up your copy at Amazon. I also love helping families with their real estate and can purchase your house fast and all cash. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. My number is 424-501-6046.
Thank you for having me today. I am so glad you've tuned into this podcast. You can find me at your favorite podcast platform where you can like, subscribe, comment, and share. And to learn more about myself, my services, you can find me at www.cesarrespino.com, or you can also find me at your social media. Thanks for joining me, and I am looking forward to having you at the next episode. And know you truly can overcome anything.